Welcome everybody to the Parent Association of Chino Valley. Basically, why do we want to do this? Why are we doing this? Why are we trying to create a parent association? Why are we calling ourselves a parent union? Basically, we want to empower parents, grandparents, and all caregivers to basically empower them to basically have a voice. Today, we don't feel like we have a voice. We need to advocate for our students. Every time we go to the school boards and we advocate for our students, we get mostly ignored. Maybe a few little kudos, thanks for writing in and emailing in, but really nothing to actually help our students or really address our issues. And what we really want is long term is we want to have a seat at the school board table to address parent and student concerns. We really want to be one of those people who sits up there, have a representative from our team that sits up there and gets to actually address what issues are at hand. Now, why are we aligning with the Parent Association? So you may not have heard of the Parent Association. The Parent Association is a larger organization that actually even started before the pandemic. But the big thing they're known for is they're known for getting all schools open. They are the group that actually got all schools open in California. They're the ones that we should thank for basically placing a lawsuit against Newsom and the California Health Department and getting them to understand that all of their guidelines and everything were not, there's no science behind it. Ultimately, there's literally, they could not defend any of the regulations they had to put in place for schools, and that allowed schools to open. Why we need to align with the Parent Association is we need a larger organization, like you, me, us few that are on this call right now. We need that power behind us. We have two kind of options. We have the Parent Association and we have the Parent Union. Both great organizations. I think the Parent Association right now has a little bit more power behind it. The big thing is they can give us some support, they can give us some assistance, but they also can give us legal help. So one of the big things that I've noticed, and maybe you have noticed too, is the only reason why school and sports are open is because of lawsuits. The only reason why special education was able to go back was because of a lawsuit. It's really sad in California that the only way you can actually get the things that you need for your students is with a lawsuit. So for especially me being in special education area and helping out a lot of families, it takes lawsuits. It's sad. It's really sad. We shouldn't have to sue to open things and really just get people to be able, students to be able to sit in classrooms and learn. Like, it's just really sad. There's a link here to the Parent Association if you want to learn more. They have a great website, a lot of great information, a lot of great leaders that I've talked to, a lot of them through the months of fighting for schools to be open, of course. Now, what do we want to do? So the part of it is we want to be the voice of the parents and the students because there isn't one today. If you listen to any of the board meetings, you'll see that they mostly ignore anybody who's a parent. And well, most students, they give them kudos for coming and talking. But if you look at the last board meetings over the last 3 years, you'll see that they say, "Oh, thanks for coming," and then they don't address their issue. It's just really sad. They really just don't address them. So the school board is supposed to be listening to us parents, listening to the students, and addressing those concerns, but they're not. The ACT Teachers Union has been very straight with me and others in our organization that they represent the teachers and the teachers only, and they're literally not allowed to talk to parents, and they're literally not allowed to talk to the students directly. They only represent the teachers, which is great. That's fine. That's what they want to do. That's great. But unfortunately, that means that they don't listen to us, the parents. They don't listen to the students. They listen to only teachers. The school staff has their own union too, and that is a very large union. And of course, they support the staff. Again, they don't really listen to the parents or the students because that's not what they're there for. The superintendent definitely has their own agenda. And what I'm hearing lately is the superintendent kind of has a lot more support, kind of a grouping of superintendents together. But in general, the school board hires and also fires the superintendent based on performance. That's, the history of it basically is. So we elect the board members. The board members basically are supposed to basically hire and fire the superintendent and then review his progress. You hear every board meeting, they go like, reviewing the progress of the superintendent and how he's doing. And in general, they feel that he's doing good, is what I've got. So who ensures our students get the right support? Right now, sadly, nobody, right? It becomes, especially in special education area, it becomes parents who really have to fight hard to advocate for their kids to get what they need. So we advocated, our group, that has now been rebranded to, Parent Association. Our group basically got special education open back in November by rallying and getting everybody together, getting 3 board members on board to open special education. They voted in October, and then they opened in November. It was a very quick opening. They opened part-time and they part full-time. And then we also advocated and pushed hard for full-time school. Now, I'm not going to say that our group got California to change the decision. What got California to change the decision was Parent Association. Their lawsuit against Newsom and the California Health Department is what allowed our district to actually open full-time. So so Parent Association is the one to thank for that. What we did is got the board members ready to make the vote so that we could open hybrid, and then we could open in person, and still give the parents the ability to do distance learning. So we want to be the voice of reason to advocate for our students. We don't want to be, pitchforks and yelling and screaming. Ultimately, what we want to do is have a representative or two go to each board member and talk to them. And then also at the board meetings, go to the board meetings and be the first speakers. Be the first speakers in the group if they won't let us up on the board. Let us be the first and two speakers and address what issues are at hand. And we have a lot of issues right now. We have a lot of them we need to address. Now, we want to do is create a leadership team. So I keep on talking about this leadership team, and people are like, what am I going to do? I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Basically, we want to get input from everybody. Like, it's not going to be my parent association. It's going to be our parent association. We want to get leaders to help determine how we represent the leadership committee, like how we elect people, like how do we get a president, how we get a vice president, how we get people to do certain things. And then we want key people to meet with the board members, meet with the superintendent, and really make sure that we're addressing the concerns. And if we have a big, powerful group, they gotta listen to us. Right now, the problem is we have like 1 or 2 or 20 people emailing in, which is great, but they can easily ignore us. Now, if we're a larger organization, we have backing, we have enough parents that are powerful, and then we have regular meetings on their schedule, they're gonna at least have to listen to us, right? I mean, they don't have to do anything, of course, but they do have to at least listen to us, which I'm hoping over time we can really work with them, partner with the unions, partner with the superintendent, partner with the board members, and come up to good solutions instead of just feeling ignored. And we really want to figure out what hot topics there are, and we can come up with great solutions. We have a huge, awesome, all these great parents, grandparents, caregivers, everybody who probably has some idea. We also need to get people informed on social media. It seems like a good platform, to keep everybody updated. We've done a pretty good job of keeping the parents updated. I've gotten a lot of thanks for keeping people updated on what's going on. I think we were kind of caught off guard, even though we were asking for a committee to tell us how they were going to use all of the COVID relief money. They kind of caught us off guard and just kind of threw it out there without any details. Like the last board meeting, it was supposed to be in the notes. Like it was supposed to be, here's what the plan is, and it didn't. It just said, approving, basically the union contract with the district. That's all it said. It didn't say, hey, we're going to add some hours, minutes, 30 minutes to school. It didn't say anything about that. And so we really got to make sure that we understand what that is. We also want to really determine who the best candidates for school board are. What we've learned, or I should say, we learned at BRE, was that not having the right school board members really hurts us. And so we have a very divided board right now, and that's not helping us. We also have a very dysfunctional board right now, which is really hurting us. And we need to get people on that board that listen to parents, to listen to students, that listen to the teachers, to be honest, too. Like, we had a lot of issues at BRE where, like, they weren't listening to the teachers themselves. Like, the union wasn't listening to them, and the school board wasn't listening to them, the superintendent wasn't listening to them, and that caused a lot of problems. So we really want to try to be that glue, I guess, or organization that helps out with that. There's a lot of great hot topics here that we're going to have to, address later. But in general, the big thing is COVID learning recovery. We got these great grants that require parent committees, yet they didn't actually create any parent committees. We also need mental health support, which they keep on pretending like they have when they don't. And then we have the masks, we have vaccinations, and then we really have a big one, which the critical race theory, ethnic studies, which a lot of people are interested about, and we need to figure out, how bad it really is. I'm really not sure. I know some folks have some really strong feelings with that, and maybe getting some parents together to understand, how good or bad that really is. So we want volunteers. You guys, I think, all volunteered already, but we're recording this for other folks to look at too. But we need to figure out, who's got the ability. So